Now we're doing a lot of physiology. This is because we're about to start talking about all those central nervous system issues, all those depression, anxiety, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's, and the rest of it. So we have to actually have a recap of how the neurotransmission, how nerves actually get to communicate to each other. It's very nice because you have a background knowledge so that when we're talking about some terminologies, it's not totally strange to you. So stages of neurotransmission is what we are going next on. So stages of neurotransmission does have to do with what are the different things that make it that what this nerve is able to communicate with this other nerve. Alright, so everything that takes it that a nerve is able to communicate to the next nerve. So let's look at it. So stages of this is first of all you have to understand two terminologies, right? The nerve that is before the other one is called a presynaptic. The nerve that is after the other one is called a postsynaptic. This space here is called the synapse. So before the synapse is presynaptic, after the synapse is postsynaptic. I don't know if you understand. So the neurotransmitters has to be what's present in the presynaptic nerve, so it has to be made. So when it's made, it comes. When it attaches to the membrane, it now releases its substances into the synaptic cleft. So neurotransmitters, okay, that's storage in the synaptic vesicles. Now these round balls, after it is made, it is stored. It will only be released when there's use for it. Okay, then next there's release into the synaptic cleft. So it's because of action potentials, different signals, highlight if your body needs it or not. Then it binds to the postsynaptic receptor. So the nerve that is after the synaptic cleft, right, it has to have neurotransmitters that are kind of like recognize that it has receptors, right, that recognize that neurotransmitter that is released into the synaptic cleft. If the receptors don't recognize it, or if the receptors are blocked, of course this next phase is also blocked. So the neurotransmitter has to bind to the receptors on the postsynaptic cleft, postsynaptic neuron membrane. So signal transmission, then the message is now conveyed through that neuron. Okay, so recycling and recovery, so that vesicle membranes are recycled for future use. Neurotransmitter precursors are taken up again for synthesis. So that's the whole stages that are actually involved for a nerve to be able to communicate to the next one.